The Fountain of Youth Stakes is a proving ground for Kentucky Derby hopefuls. 14 Kentucky Derby winners have also run in this race, including Thunder Gulch, Spectacular Bid, and Orb. And what about Mage in 2023? Fourth in this race, but took all Kentucky Derby glory. 8 horses are lining up in the starting gate at Gulfstream on Saturday for the 1.16 distance and in hopes of winning those 50 crucial Kentucky Derby points. Facts and figures are going to give you the winning edge. I give you the stats, you make the picks. Hi, it's Maura from Trifecta and a little bit extra. And we're going to go through all 8 horses, the facts, the stats, strengths, weaknesses, pros and cons, everything you need to know to find your winner. But if you don't want to go through all 8, that's okay. There are timestamps below. Slide to the horse you're most interested in. And remember, I am also now on YouTube Music as a podcast, so you could take me wherever you'd like to go. If you stick to the end, I do have some historical angles that you may want to evaluate when you're picking your horse. So we've got 8 horses. Let's dive in with the number 1 horse. The number 1 horse is Gate to Wire. And if you think he's going to go Gate to Wire, don't. He's more of a mid-pack runner. But don't let that fool you. He's got a lot of talent. He's trained by Todd Pletcher, and Todd Pletcher knows how to win this race 4 times since 2007. And Todd Pletcher has a 22% win rate for 3-year-olds on the dirt at Gulfstream. Dylan Davis is going to be in the irons, and with Todd Pletcher, they have a 38% win rate. Now let's talk about Gate to Wire's journey to get to this race. Very interesting journey at that. 5 starts, 2 wins, 1 place. He starts off his career as a turf sprinter in Saratoga in a $100,000 maiden race going 5.5 furlongs on the turf. He was off the pace, makes an impressive bid, and wins as the 4-5 winner. Impressive start. Then goes to the G3 Futurity at Aqueduct, 6 furlongs on the turf. He's the favorite again, but he couldn't match stride for stride with the stablemate Mentee, and he comes in second, 3.5 lengths behind. Now it's the big stage. Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf Sprint, some of the fastest young turf sprinters in the world. And here, nothing. No response, no excuse, finishes 10th. Time for a change. He makes his 3-year-old debut in a $96,000 allowance race on the synthetic. And again, not his greatest moment. The announcer actually said, in an ironic last, here's Gate to Wire. Oof. He did make up some ground in the end and finishes 5th. But then there's the breakthrough, the Swale Stakes here at Gulfstream, 7 furlongs on the dirt. Dylan Davis is his jockey that day. Just like always, he's off the pace, but it was a blazingly hot pace, and Gate to Wire took full advantage of that. He unleashed a massive turn of foot, dusting the field and winning by 5. Oh, and by the way, he earned one of the best speed figures in this race that day. But the question's going to be, what about the added distance? He's by Munnings, and Munnings is not really known for dirt routers. In fact, Munnings himself never won past the 7 furlong distance. And this is the first time Gate to Wire is going longer than 7 furlongs. So will he show us all of that talent that he had in the Swale Stakes? Or will the extra distance be too much? The number 2 horse is Sovereignty. Trained by Bill Mott, he'll be ridden by Junior Alvarado, a proven combination. He has 3 starts, 1 win, and 1 place. And Junior Alvarado has been aboard all 3 times. Now, this isn't just any 3-year-old colt. His pedigree screams Kentucky Derby. He's by Into Mischief. Into Mischief has given us Kentucky Derby winners, like Mandaloon and Authentic. His dam is Crowned. Crowned is by Bernardini, a top-tier router. And her dam was Mushka, who won the Demoiselle going 1 1/8. So, Sovereignty, he wasn't just bred to run, he was bred to rule. He announced himself in a major way, stepping up as a maiden into the G3 Street Sense at Churchill Downs, a 1.16 distance. He was off a step slow that day. He was dead last. No problem. Monster Rally, 6 wide, wins by over 5 lengths. And the horses he beat that day, Sandman and Tistastic, they went on to prove themselves in top-tier Kentucky Derby prep races. So that race was no fluke. He has serious talent. But there are some question marks for this race. We haven't seen him for 125 days, but Bill Mott, he does do well coming off the long layoffs. He's had 5 workouts since the end of December, so he has been preparing. The real question's going to be is his running style. He's a closer, and that closing kick was phenomenal and helpful at Churchill Downs, but may play against him here with the short stretch. In fact, Bill Mott even wondered in an interview, would the race shape play against him? So, will Sovereignty rule on Saturday, or does he need one more race underneath of it? The number 3 horse, Burnham Square, is looking to keep the fires burning. Consistent, versatile, and now has momentum. In all 4 starts, he's hit the board. And since Edgar Zayas has taken over as jockey, he's gotten 2 wins. And the stats don't lie. He loves Gulfstream. Both wins have come at this track. The distance? No worries. 3 starts, 2 wins, and 1 show. And his running style fits Gulfstream's speed-friendly track. His breakthrough moment comes here at Gulfstream Park, 1 1/16 distance. This is a $65,000 maiden race, and it's closing out his 2-year-old campaign. He draws the rail. He goes right to the lead, never looks back, wins by 9 lengths. Then he begins his 3-year-old campaign in the Holy Bull. He's stepping up. This is a Kentucky Derby prep race. He is drawn on the outside. In that race, he quickly found the rail to save ground. Then he takes aim at Tappan Street, a $1 million Into Mischief colt. Coming around the far turn, swings wide, gets past, and wins, driving. And what's important about that race is not only the win at this track and this distance against those contenders, it's also the fact he improved his speed rating. So he's getting good right at the best moment. And that speed rating puts him squarely in the mix with the contenders in this race. Now, Ian Wilkes claims it's the blinkers. He's been day and night performance by adding the blinkers, and he gets blinkers again. So Burnham Street is a true contender in this race. The number 4 horse is McKellen, trained by Jose D'Angelo and ridden by Tyler Gaffleone. 3 starts, 1 win and 1 place, and all 3 starts are at the mile distance. Now, his story started strong. In a $65,000 maiden race here at Gulfstream, he grinded out a win. Then he went into a $127,000 allowance race at Churchill Downs. Well, he ran into Disco Time, and since then, Disco Time has gone on to romp in the LeCompte. McKellen did show a flash of talent that day. He was stalking the leaders. It looked like he was ready to pounce, but unfortunately, he stayed on his left lead, and by the time he switched over, Disco Time was dancing his way to the winner's circle. McKellen finished second. Then he goes to the Mucho Macho Man here at Gulfstream, and here, very poor performance, finishing 6th. The worst part of that, the form of that race just never held up. Guns Loaded finished last here in the Holy Bull, and Treaty of Rome finished 9th in the Sam F. Davis, and that was your winner and runner-up in the Mucho Macho Man. So what do we do with McKellen? He's by Mackenzie, and Mackenzie is a strong sire of dirt routers, even winning the Whitney himself. But McKellen is going to have to erase the whole experience of the Mucho Macho Man and take a big leap forward to get to the winner's circle here. And it looks like there could be better options in this race. The number 5 horse is Solid Left. He's trained by Brian Lynch and will be ridden by Luis Saez. This is a very lightly raced colt with 2 starts and 1 win. Now, his debut came here at Gulfstream, $65,000 maiden race going 7 furlongs. And that debut does not hit the highlight reel. He finished 8th, 18 lengths behind Tappan Street. Ouch. Then he goes to start his 3-year-old season. He comes out swinging. In a 1 1/16 race here at Gulfstream, he takes advantage of a very hot pace, and he wins by 2.5 lengths. But who did he really beat that day? If you look at the other contenders that have run since, they didn't really improve. He hasn't had that great of workouts, and that win, and this is my red flag, came with Lasix, and he's not getting Lasix today. So Solid Left leaves me with a lot of questions, and for me, there are better options in this race. If you're looking for a horse with serious upside, look no further than the number 6 horse, River Thames. He is undefeated. He is trained by Todd Pletcher, and we already went through Todd Pletcher's very impressive stats for this race. He's won this race 4 times since 2007. He has a 22% win rate at Gulfstream with 3-year-olds going on the dirt, and with Johnny V and the irons, together they have a 22% win rate. But what's really interesting about River Thames is he didn't begin his career until his 3-year-old season. Now, he may be late to the party, but he has been owning the dance floor. His debut came here at Gulfstream in a $94,000 maiden race going 6 furlongs. He stalked the leaders that day, including the 4-5 favorite Vanderbilt. When they went around the turn, River Thames got in front of Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt fought back, but River Thames said, "Oh, no, no, no," and wins by 4 to 5 lengths. He found another gear. What's better than that? He got one of the best speed ratings we see out of all the horses in this race that day. And even better, the horses that he beat actually came back and improved. He follows that up with another dominant win. He's in a $96,000 allowance race going a mile here at Gulfstream Park. He breaks sharply from the rail. He presses the pace, but then he's just gone, finishing ahead of everybody else by 6.5 lengths. What a really powerful performance. The question's going to be, can he get the extra distance? He's by McLean's Music, and McLean's Music has solid stats, being a sire of dirt routers. And McLean's Music is the sire of 2017 Preakness winner Cloud Computing. So, is River Thames a serious contender? Absolutely. If you want a long shot, look no further than the 7-horse Neoequos. Speed, consistency, and top connections. He's trained by Joseph Safi Jr., who tends to dominate Gulfstream, and will be ridden by Irad Ortiz Jr., one of the best jockeys in the business. And together, they have a 31% win rate. In 5 starts, this horse hasn't finished worse than second, unless you count his very first race where he got bumped so hard he actually tossed the jockey and didn't finish the race. Now, this is a horse that really knows this track. All 5 starts have come at Gulfstream. He begins his career in a $65,000 maiden race going 5 furlongs. He blew past the 4-5 favorite that day and wins by 2.5 lengths. He then steps up to Stakes Company, a 6 furlong stakes race and a 7 furlong stakes race. And in both of those, he finishes second behind Rated by Merit. If Rated by Merit was in this race, he would have one of the best speeds. Then Neoequos begins his 3-year-old career, again here at Gulfstream, in an allowance race, going 6 furlongs. On a sloppy track, as the 1-5 favorite, Gate to Wire wins by 3.5 lengths. The question's going to be, can Neoequos get this distance? He's by Neolithic, who has average stats as a sire of dirt routers, but who did win here at Gulfstream in an allowance race going 1 16 miles. With his early speed, will Neoequos be the long shot play of the day? Before I move on to the 8th horse, give me a comment below. Who do you like in this race? Trained by Dale Romans and ridden by Corey Lannery, the number 8 horse is Keep It Easy. And I hope he does more than that because he could also be a long shot play. 4 starts, 2 wins, and has the most earnings out of any of the horses in the field. That's none too shabby. He showed serious early speed in his second start. $120,000 maiden race going 6 furlongs. Gate to Wire winner by 4 lengths. But then he went to the G2 Saratoga Special. You have to toss that race out. He stumbled badly at the start. He tried to go 6 wide, and he never really got out of 8th position. He shows up 112 days later in the Ed Brown Stakes, going 6.5 furlongs at Churchill Downs. Again, bad start, but this time, different response. He puts on those jets, he powers home, he wins by 5 lengths. That's serious talent. He's been training really well and consistently here at Gulfstream, so he knows the track. Even getting a bullet workout for 5 furlongs, going 59 and change. The question's going to be, can he get the distance? He's by Hardspun. Hardspun got the distance, and Hardspun's top progeny, Two Phils and Wicked Strong, they also got this distance. So will Keep It Easy really keep it easy, or will he be the long shot to win? Now let's talk about some angles to help you find your winner. I did research over the last 10 runnings of this race, and here's what I found. First, speed matters, and I'm not talking just gate to wire speed. In fact, only 3 horses went gate to wire. The rest were mid-pack at the half pole, so tactical speed matters. Second, they have to have proven experience at the longer distances. All 10 had proven themselves 7 furlongs and greater. And third, experience at Gulfstream, especially a win, is always a plus. This is a unique configuration, and horses that know this track do better. So based on that, which horses would I look at a little bit closer? Gate to Wire, River Thames, and Burnham Square. Now, are those the only 3 horses you should choose from? Absolutely not. We know these races aren't run on paper, they're run on the track. So now it's your turn. Go back, look at the stats, let me know. Who are you going to pick? Put it in the comments below. Hit like, hit subscribe. Never miss out on my Kentucky Derby coverage. But most of all, sashay away with your money. I hope you all find that winner on Saturday and let me know after the race. Cheers.